Hello lovely people, I welcome you once again to Joroots Academy Excel training. And in this lesson we are going straight to our functions and formulas. So in this lesson we are going to start with the round function. With the round function we have three functions under the round function. We have the almighty round function, then we have the round up function, then we have the round down function. So we are going to go through all the functions, all the three functions and around, so that we get to know more on it. Now we are going to use this number to work on it. So first of all, let's start with the round function. So with the round function, it's normally round the numbers to a specific integer or a specific number. So probably it can be a number, a whole number. It can be a number in one decimal place or a number in two decimal place, based on your specification, based on how you enter your formulas. Now, when you are running a number and the number is from 0 to 4, that means it will decrease, or it will be we normally represent it with 0. That means it will go round down. But if the number is from 5 to 9, that means it will round up. That means it will convert to 1 and then add to the previous or the number before it. So let's take an example and you can understand it. So let's go to the fx, the function, the insert function. Let's insert the function. So you want to insert a function in D5, in cell D5. So when you click on the insert function, then you come to this side and go and search for round. So you type round inside this box here where you have search for function. Then you click on or go. So the round function is here and it's selected. So just click on OK. Now you have the round function. So we have two text boxes here or two columns here that you can enter values. So with the first one, which is the number, it says is the number you want to round. That's the actual number you want to round. So here we normally don't use the actual number, but we use the cell reference, the cell where that number you want to round is found. So with our case here, we have the number in cell C5. So here you are going to enter C5. Either you type it here or you go and click on the cell from your sheet. So you click on the cell from your sheet so that it will appear the C5. Now with the number digit, that's where the case is. We can round a number to a whole number. We can round a number to the nearest tens, to the nearest 100, to the nearest thousands, and whatever. You can also round a number to 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, and above. So if you want to round a number to a whole number, then the num digits should be 0. So we are going to enter just 0 here. You see that from the results here, you see that you're having 115. So 115 here shows that the number here has been round up. You see, because the number after the digit, which is making the number whole, that is number after 4 or after the 0 decimal place, is 7, and it is between 5 and 9. So it will be round up. That's why we have 115. Now let's change the 0 and enter 2. That means we want to have a 1 decimal place. So with 1 decimal place, you see that the value here, the answer here will be 114.7. 0.7 because after 7, which is the first decimal place, after 7 and the second decimal place is 2, it is below 5. So we don't run it up, but we rather run it down, so it will be erased from there. That's why we have 7. Good. So you can still change the decimal places to, let's say, 3, based on your kind of work that you are doing. then you hit on OK to take effect. So we have learned how to change or how to round a number to the nearest whole number. That's where you enter 0 at this point, and you have learned how to enter or how to convert a number to the nearest one decimal place, to the one decimal place, two decimal place, three decimal place, and others. So there are some cases you want to run it to the nearest tens. So let's go back to fx. Let's click on the cell where the function is. Then you go to fx. With this, it's the same way, but the number digit will change. Instead of 0 for the whole number, we are going to use -1. So -1 will represent to the nearest tens. Then when you add -2 to be to the nearest hundreds. Okay, so if you want it to be to the nearest 1,000, then you add -3. So in that order. Okay, so now let's go to the next aspect, which is the round up and round down. So with the round up, so you are going to use the same function or the same format. Let's go to fx, then search for round down. So for me, I have the round down here already. So you can also search, you just type the round down in this box here, then you hit on go, then you click on OK. So you have the round down here. So I just select it, then hit on go. So now we are going to round the number as we did for the round. You select the cell that you want to round or the number that you want to round. So you want to round C5, you click on it, then you come to this side. With this, it's the same way. If you want to round to the nearest tens, to the nearest 100, or to one decimal place, you can still do the same thing as we did for the previous function. So with this, let's say we want it to be a whole number. Run it down to a whole number, to the nearest whole number. So you hit on 0. You see the difference. Let me hit on OK, and you see the difference. You see this one is 114. When you run down, let me go and change this one to 0, so that you can compare the difference. Now you see that when you round the number, the first function, that's round function, when you round it to the nearest whole number, we got 115, because the number after the digits or after the decimal point is 7. That means it will be round up. But when we run it down to the nearest whole number, we got 114, meaning we are dealing with round down, so it will round down. So round up can also be used. That is the round up function. So the same way, you go to round up and search for round up here, then you enter the value, the cell that you want to round it up, then the place the digits. If it is whole decimal places, or want to add it to be 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places, or want to be the whole number or to the nearest 100 or 1,000, then you enter the value. But you want it to be a whole number, so you enter 0. So you see that the round up is similar to the round function, because it will give you the same number. Okay, and this is the round down function. Okay, so you can use this when you are dealing with your calculation for your student maths. If you want to have your decimal places, 2 decimal places, let's say for monetary transactions, you want to use 2 decimal places to cater for your pesos or your cents and others, you can use this. Okay, so we end this lesson here, and in our next lesson we are going to another function, and we'll learn more. Thank you all.